Okay, so this is part two of. It is the 6th. It's April 6th, 2018. It is now 2 o'clock, 1:30. So this is part two. I got a phone call. So, anyway, so. Damn it. What was I saying? Criticizing. So I've criticized, people criticize, we all criticize. You can't have like Earl Nightingale. This is what I've been tripping on is the supernatural aspects of the world, like creating your own reality. Not like, no crazy shit, but like just in general, like if you're negative, you're gonna have a negative in your world. It doesn't always mean that that's the truth, but it does play out where you can get like kind of what Jim Carrey said. You can get, if everybody got what they wanted, they'd realize that that's not, fame and money isn't everything, whatever, however that goes. Like pretty much like we think we want something and we're gonna go for it, and then when we get it, we're like, whoa, it doesn't always turn out perfect how we wanted it. So that's how reality works with us. So that's what I realize with our reality, So sometimes achieving is not always the best. Or achieving, like overachieving is not always the best. But so yeah, trying to figure it out, trying to have a balance in my life, and that's the real battle, like how we're gonna deal with our personal life. We all want to save the world. Most of us, want to better the world, but how we do it is probably by bettering ourselves. So those cliches, these cliches that end up being true, like. But anyway, so I'm still an artist. Like, I can go be a carpenter, go be, whatever, businessman at age 41. But I've been an artist my whole life, so I'm good at it. Selling art in the world is not always the easiest for an artist. You have to turn into a businessman. So I'm gonna do that. See how that works out a little bit. Do some normal jobs. But the supernatural stuff, like there's this, it's like this crazy, like what does it mean? Like all this stuff and the meaning of it. Like, and then you can look at the world around us and then see the world around you, and it is what you see. You can see the positive, you can see the negative. But there is a world around us, like, and the reality of what you're gonna do in it, how you're gonna fit into this world, and if it works out for you or not. But there is the reality of love. Like, are you gonna, your tribulation is gonna be equivalent to your accomplishment, your glory. So you want glory, you want greatness, you're gonna have to deal with the negative. You're gonna have to deal with the adversity and the failures or whatever. And that's what I've been going for my whole life. And now, dealing with these failures or these adversities that I've lived through almost have been overwhelming. It's been like these trials and tribulations that I've never ever expected. But yet at the same time, I'm like, dude, my reality is different than the world's reality about me. So it's like my reality has been positive, great, amazing. Like the craziest shit that you could think of has happened. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to deal with it. And I'm wondering, has other people dealt with this shit? Like, I've seen all the celebrities that I've seen, they all dealt with it. Every single one of them that has done anything, I put them into the category, and then I look at their life and I'm like, fuck, dude, they dealt with shit that I'm dealt with. Now, people have been dealing with worse shit, like shit that's like going to prison for fucking killing people. Like this guy just got wrecked in November and he killed 2 people. 37-year-old guy in Palermo, and he was drunk and wrecked into 2 people and they died. All white folks. They had white people names. And so it was just like, man, now he's got 16 years or whatever. So it's like, local news, thinking world news, all this stuff. It's like, so I'm putting my life into this, all of us think our problems are the worst problems that we have. And I'm like, and it's crazy, when, people that, like I said, know me or whatever, like, you guys know my drama, and it's like, there is an aspect of the supernatural shit in here, in my fucking world. It's like, whoa, like, shit that I've seen that no one else can be like, oh, take that away from me. And then shit that's been added from the outside world to, like, either camouflage it or to, I don't know what they're doing, but like, so that's why I believe people are around, like, involved in my drama. Not because I've done shit that's all crazy, that's worse than anybody else, like, but because of this aspect. And the thing that it comes from, like the Native American stuff, is they've always like we go hunting, right? Like, and we sense danger, and like we're connected to the nature, like natural. We have our own strengths, our own gifts that God gave us that are different than the white folks, and they're, this, they call it supernatural stuff or whatever, like growing our hair out, and then like being able, ability to sense if something's happening, sixth sense or whatever, that the European or English people didn't have. And so they were interested in how brown people have that, connection to the spirit world. And so I believe that that's what they've been checking me out for. So I'm on a global, and it sounds crazy, but they know it. There's too much evidence to say that I haven't been, documented and looked at, and they should know that I'm a good person. So that's why I'm still driving around. So that's my reality. So the only thing that I'm really dealing with is that, I don't want to be no fucking bird in a cage. It's like fucking, like they send Native Americans to Europe and in a cage and like show them off. Hey, look at this guy. Which I feel like I am at the moment. I've been like that for a few years. Ridiculed by my family. It's weird shit, like crazy shit that it's the past tense, but it's still like, unless I confront it, I personally won't be able to get through it without it affecting my future. So this is like stuff, everybody needs to take responsibility for themselves. Like, and I know this, I appreciate everyone that's tried to help me through my life or not, whatever, even the negative people. Like, I really wish the negative stuff didn't happen. I really wish, through this time I've wished the worst on these people, because it's like they've taken everything I love away from me. But like Job, you can lose everything, but if you stay strong, you're gonna get everything back from that and more. And I've been walking that road, and we'll see what happens. But in general, I'm not broken. Like, that's the thing that really try to happen. See if they can break my spirit, and they're not. I don't want to be negative, but like teaching a dog to walk on a leash. That's kind of the metaphor that they've used. And dude, I've been doing great shit forever. Like, so the people, whoever feels that they've helped me be a better person by whipping me or trying to walk me on a leash, they can't take the credit for that at all. You know, if anything, they know, like, criticizing me and ridiculing me has not changed me for the better, for the worse. It changed me for the worse, like, really, like, only through my own spirit and my heart, my soul, have I not succumbed and been a bad person and destroyed people. Like, you see my videos, I can talk so much more shit about individuals, which I believe that, people want to see the worst side of me. You've seen, but you got to put that in the human perspective of, the hell, dude, everybody, like, I'm not going to make excuses for anything, but I'm definitely not going to be like, okay, like, you can see the reflection in yourself. So I've seen, like, Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys seen that show. It's like an English from England or whatever. So England's been dealing with some English people. Their culture is taken over the world. Like, they've went and injected their viewpoints on world perspective to every culture on the earth. And so Black Mirror is a mirror to them, how they ridiculed each other, and it could be just human nature, but I really believe that Europeans or the English or whatever, like, because you can even go through language, how we speak English becomes part of your brain. Like, if you spoke French, you would be a different person, you'd be a different culture. There's a reason that the songs that we sing, the instruments that we play, the sports that the sports that we play become you. You have the same person raised in Mexico that's raised in England. They're going to be two different. They're going to be similar, like who they will be, but they're going to be different because of the culture, and that culture is determined by the songs and like the food and everything that their family rituals, like, how they wake up, what they eat, and, their friends. And so the English lifestyle has, went throughout the world, and it's not just English people. Like, it is a shared culture. They've been affected by other cultures as well. So the reason I say English is because I'm speaking English, but I'm not English. So that's kind of, so my gifts come from my bloodline, from God. We made it like a bird. Your bird doesn't, the ugly duckling, you're like a goose with the ducks or whatever, like, you're ugly, but only because you're not a duck. So, whatever people want to put their metaphors, and I don't know what other people's metaphors are, but my metaphor is you're born to this world for a reason. Everyone is, and if you accomplish that reason, if you go for why you're born here, what you're supposed to do on earth, or what you're supposed to give and whatever, that's the goal, that's the fight. And so I'm fighting the fight, and I love everyone. I wish the best for everyone. I do. But at the same time, you got to protect yourself and fight your fights. And there's a thing where it's like, what is it? There's a mirror. There is a balance out there in each of us. There's a positive and negative, the yin and yang, whatever you want to call it. But there's somebody else out there that is your your mirror. So kind of like the Dark Crystal, where there's those guys that are the vulture people, and then the ones that are like, ooh, like there's like this weird thing where we're connected, you know. There's the opposite of us. So, but we're not all good and we're not all bad. So, but there is fight. There is a fight that we are fighting in the outside world, not just in the inside world. But anyway, so I'm 41. Pretty tired. It's raining. Still drinking my coffee. Talked about some current events. And the thing with, I guess the point of this was like, what you put out in the world you're gonna get, but you're not gonna always get it how you think you're gonna get it. But doesn't mean that you have to give up. But the more you want to achieve, the greater your battles are gonna be, and there's not always fist fights or, you know, using aggression to win your battles. So, and also that there is supernatural stuff. And if I had the energy, next one I want to talk about it. Let's see if I can talk. No, I can't. It's too much energy. All these conversations have energy. If you're watching these, like, I appreciate you watching these. I'm hoping that that we have a conversation in real life. Even though I like talking, I like listening just as much. And I'm just here as a participant in this world too. But I definitely am gonna keep going into this world. And it's gonna have to, we'll see. You know, I'm gonna start upping my game. Which the thing is, when you up your game, you're gonna get stronger adversity. That's what's fucked up about the situation. It's like, fuck, like, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do it in a good way where it's always about my, you know, bettering myself and my own. You know, I have so much to do still. Like, shit, I don't even have not gotten my family life stuff going. Like, as far as like my own family. And that's something that I always wanted since I was a kid. So, like, I can't imagine going through the rest of my life as a, you know, artist, bachelor artist guy. So, you know, the chances that I took in this world are led me here. I'm still here, being a, you know, traded in a lot of stuff to be a great artist, and I doubt I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want that to be my God, but I'm definitely fighting for it, you know, to live in this world as an artist and make my living as an artist. So I'm gonna do it. Like, I don't know, like, I've had people in Hollywood, they need to make room for me, because you know, there are probably more people there that I could have good conversations with. And as far as art world, we'll see. I mean, shit, like, who wants to be a celebrity and not get paid? Who wants to be the center of attention and not get paid for it? Like, you know, I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be manager at Kmart. So, we'll see what God gives me. But I'm going to the Bay Area, and I'm gonna hang out with my family. It's just weird to see how everybody's going through shit. I don't know. I like listening to everybody's story. That's one of my gifts, is actually absorb, like, kind of like a medicine man, or like a, you know, people always come to me and told me their stories. People always felt comfortable telling me their life, and I like to listen to it, and um, I have I try to see it from a neutral viewpoint, not as myself, but just as a human, as just an empty empathy, understanding, like, so to criticize people is something that is not normal, is not something that I always wanted to do. I've never wanted to criticize people, but it's been weird when people criticize me. It's like when they don't know me or whatever, and like, especially with all this stuff that's been happening, getting my life thrown in my face where shit's been distorted, and people believing it and treating me that way has made me very defensive. So, but that's been my battle. And I think a lot of people have been feeling that way on Facebook or whatever. I don't know, people deal with it different, but I refuse to go into hiding. And I've been cocooned lately just because whatever situation, but I've been bettering myself every moment. So I know I'm a stronger version of myself than I was 10 years ago, 7 years ago. So, but I still love the same people. Like, man, I still, like, all my memories of loved ones I still have. Like, I still care about my family, and my ex-girlfriends or whatever. And it's like, I want to say hi to everyone, all my old friends, but I know we're all different, but I know we're the same. So I just haven't been able to have the strength and energy to do that. I don't know if that's even part of my life now, but I do, if anybody's watching this that we've been friends or lovers or family members or whatever, I still feel the same. I'm positive. Anybody that fucked me over these last few years, I don't know, we'll see. But my reality is knowing that this lifetime is not the only life we're gonna get. So I'm just here to do my duty, give what I got to give in this world, and I'll meet you on the next one. So don't be late. But yeah, we're souls. The body is just the body. So there's been some negative stuff, I don't know, people got me walking around naked or whatever, this is a reality we live in where everybody's videotaping shit. So people that wanted to try to take me out, try to shame me by videotaping me being a human being, you can do that. You can want to, if I can put my double chin in there, it's not going to shame me. I mean, fucked up, I don't like it, but at the same time, I'm not going to let it control me. Being gay in the world, I'm not gay, never been gay. I don't, I was thinking about it. I was like, if anybody fucking, like, if in my normal life, if in the world, in my reality, I would take it as a negative, as a threat, like if gay stuff happened to me, or if anybody tried to be gay on me, I would, like I was thinking prison. I was like, fuck, dude, I'd have to kill somebody if that shit, we'd have to go to the death.